Right, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I was trying to think of something to do and then I kept looking at these guys and we're going to be rescuing some houseplants today because these are looking worse for wear, like viewer discretion advised because this doesn't look very good. And then I have another, these are begonias, so I'm going to be rescuing these two begonias. They will come back just fine. I don't want to look at it, I'll let you quickly look and then I'll look away. I'm going to be rescuing those because they are still alive, they've just died down to the soil. There's a few leaves that are still shooting, so I'm going to be cutting them back, watering them. They're currently being watered at the moment, so they'll pop back absolutely fine, like I literally promise you. Like this one here has done exactly that several times and is looking amazing, so they just need a little bit of TLC and they will come back just fine. So I'm going to be doing that, rejuvenating them, and then I have my Philodendron micans here, which is not looking too terrible. Like, it's just very thin, like it's dropped a lot of its leaves, and so I'm going to be going through getting all the leaves off, and then you can see how long it is here. And then I'm going to be chopping it right back. I'm going to take so many cuttings. I've brought up some little pots and some sphagnum moss and some compost. And I'm probably going to cut it back to maybe here. So then it's going to give me all that propagation material to take cuttings and hopefully produce a lot nicer, bushier top to the plant. Because it used to be really bushy up here, and then let me bring it a bit closer. You can see it's just kind of like, it's still all alive and it's still healthy. It's just where it's kind of getting a bit old and it has dried out a couple of times. So they do drop their leaves when that happens. But once that is all done, I'm going to be putting them into my grow tent, and then they should come back perfectly fine. And then once they've kind of rejuvenated or are looking good again, I can then bring them out of the grow tent and put them, display them like around the room, around the house, etc. And I'm thinking as well that I'm going to try to take a couple of cuttings, and then once I have done all that, I'm going to be taking some more leaf cuttings off of this guy, because I was watching Stories and Succulents video of her transplanting her leaf cutting, like her leaf cuttings that have grown from her begonias. It's a very hot day today, my brain is working slower than normal, and that inspired me to take some off of this because it's really full in here and I'd hate to lose it. So if I take some cuttings and keep them, then because the last cuttings I took I gave away and got rid of, so I don't have any of those left. So I want to get another one of these, maybe another one or two, or maybe just like take a few cuttings and put them in one pot so that it makes a nice full second pot. Sorry if you can hear my neighbours through the window, but I'm not closing that window today. Right, so I'm going to get on with rescuing these houseplants first, and so I'm going to change the camera around and show you guys what I'm doing. Right, so I'm going to start by just cutting, or pulling / cutting the leaves off of this this begonia here, just clearing out all of the dead ones, making sure I don't take off any of the live ones because they are what this plant needs right now, and a little bit of hope. If we just clear this up nicely, and you can still see there's some nice red growth in the centre, so it will come back perfectly fine. Trust me, I know how silly that sounds. Let's get all this off. But I just know, like, it'd be so easy to just throw this away and buy a new one, but then I know that it will come back, so I don't want to waste it. And once I've tidied this all up, it will look better a lot quicker, or quite quickly, I'll say. Get all these dead flowers off here. Clear this up around it. Try not to make a mess. I've just tidied everything. So let's snip that there. The thing as well, if you're leaving a lot of this dead material on here, is it will allow a lot of mold to grow, so it could potentially be detrimental to surrounding plants as well. Luckily this has not been anywhere near any of my other plants, hence why it's not really been looked after. So it should be okay. Clear out all these dead bits in here. Yeah, I'll just pull these bits out of here. So there's probably about 4 or 5 plants in here, which we can see. Maybe more. Right, so I've cleared out most of the stuff now. Oh, there's a spider. Come here. Come here. No. You will only get eaten by my other spiders if you stay in here. Okay, I'll leave that. Alright, so I've cleared out the majority of the dead. All this stuff down here won't be a problem if left. So we can see here, I do have it sitting in water, and it's been sat in water since last night, so I'm going to now remove the tray because you don't want it sitting in water constantly. But you can see here some of the nice new leaves coming through. So that is a very, very good sign, and it's a sign that this guy is going to rejuvenate very quickly and easily. And then if I show you, the lighting is not very good at the moment, but you see the red bits here, they are living stem, like they're living, they're the growing tips. So from those points is where all the leaves will come out, and you can see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's, did I already count that one? I don't know. But there is a good lot in there, you can see for yourself. So I'm going to be placing that into the MarsHydro grow tent, and then I'll show you doing that, but I'll do that after. So just for now, I'll leave that just on the floor, and then I'll clean up the mess after. I just don't want it still sitting in this water because you see like it's all got all dirt in it and debris. And again, that is a good place for fungus and mold to grow. Right, so here's the other one, which again has some nice new growth coming up. So it's basically, I just need to clean these up, but when they're on the side looking like this, it's just very tempting to just throw them away instead of save them. This leaf here is a bit rotten, so I'll get rid of that one. And I only watered this one like a couple of hours, like maybe an hour ago, so it still needs a little bit of time to soak up the water. So I'm not going to be taking it out of this pot right now. Yeah, that's a bit too floppy for my liking, but I'll leave it and see if it grows. Let's just get some of this out here. I would like to change the soil, but I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to leave them for a bit, let them grow first, and then I'll mess around with them a bit more. I just don't want to do too much in one go because I don't want to stress it out more than it already has been. Right, so let's get this out. We're having some sort of heat wave in England at the moment, so, and my bedroom is in the roof, so it is like unbelievably hot in here. Right, let's get rid of this leaf. You see this leaf is gone a bit too far, so it's actually drying out and the stem's a bit rotten, so I'm going to cut that right back because that will go mouldy if I leave that on there. Oh. Right, so I think that is cut back enough now. This leaf feels though it's going a bit rotten, but I'll leave it and I'll be able to tell in a few days if it picks back up again. So that is that one for now. Again, looks so tragic, but it will come back perfectly fine. And now I'll move on to the Philodendron, and I'll take those cuttings. So you can see the beautiful coloration on these leaves, and that is why I definitely don't want to lose them. So like I said, I'm just going to place these into the grow tent, and these are going to go right at the back, and these are the first things that I'm actually putting in here. So they've got lots of space. I'm going to stick them right in the back, and we have a lot of space to work with, so I'm going to put maybe the Philodendron in here too. So this is just a 2x2 grow light. Grow tent. It's a MarsHydro one, and it's not too strong, which I like, because for a lot of my house plants, my other grow light is too strong. So this one is like an intermediate lighting. So it's going to be nice to kind of keep keep an eye on how well these do in here compared to the plants that are under my other grow light. So I'm definitely going to be keeping record of these. I'll give you guys updates. But anyway, let's get on to the philodendron. Right, so firstly I'm going to mix up the soil here. So this is just multi-purpose potting compost, and then underneath here, which I put in first, is a load of sphagnum moss. So I just need to, I want to cut the moss up, so I'm going to try and bring a lot of it to the top, and then cut it into smaller pieces just so that it mixes better. So this may take a little while and make some mess apparently, of course. And the reason I'm going to use sphagnum moss is because it will keep that humidity, like that moisture in the soil. It'll absorb the water a lot quicker, and it will just be better for the rooting of the philodendron. And I don't have any perlite at the moment. Oh god, I'm throwing this everywhere. Right, I'm really trying not to be messy. Right, so there's still a lot of sphagnum. Sorry, I'm going to be messy, it doesn't matter. I can clean it up afterwards. And let's just cut this up. So I guess I can just carry on doing this off screen, but this is what potting media I'm going to be using. And I will come back once I've mixed this. Right, so I've got my philodendron down here. I'm just going to, I'll do one pot at a time, and I'm just going to fill the pot right up to the top, because I'm going to bottom water these. I never really top water my cuttings, unless they're in like flat trays, then I will, but ideally, for me, well, ideally you'd want to water them from the bottom, because you don't want to disturb any of those. There's a long piece of moss there. Or is that, what is that? I don't know what that is. So I'm going to fill these up. Yeah, you don't want to disturb the roots too much, so bottom watering is definitely preferred for me anyway. Right, it's already kind of damp, so I'm not going to water it beforehand. And I'm going to work from the bottom up and then just get as close to the top as I want. So with these, I'm going to probably cut, I'm going to cut right there, and then I'm going to cut that bottom leaf off, and then I'll cut this down just lower to there, so that we have the node there with the, you can see the roots starting to grow, and then I'm just going to place that into the soil nice and deep. I'll dig a little hole just because that sphagnum moss is going to make it a little bit more tricky, and then compact it a little bit just so that it keeps itself up. And then I'm going to do the same again, so I think I'll do to here, and then cut that down, and then cut that bottom leaf off. I'll take that little bit of whatever that was off. There we go, and then that one's going to go in as well. I'll probably do like 4 or 5 for this pot, just because it will get the best results. The more you do, the better, like the more establishment you'll get. Be a nicer sort of display. So I'm going to do the same again. Oh, this one has a couple of bare nodes here, so I will cut that off and then cut that up to the node, and then that is my cutting. I'll be able to place, I could actually cut this, yeah, I'm going to cut that one off and use that node instead, only because otherwise there's going to be 2 nodes without a leaf. And then let's pop this in the pot. I do really love the philodendron mycons, and it is, I was kind of gutted that mine did look so bad, but I'm glad that I'm able to make take a lot of cuttings, because I do want a better specimen. Right, so that's 3. I'll take 1 more for this pot, otherwise it will get just a little bit too overcrowded. But I mean, I've got so much to get through, so let's go with, cut that back to that node, cut that off, and cut that leaf, and there we have the cutting. So it's really easy, and once you get like the hang of, once you understand exactly what you need on a cutting, so you need 1 or 2 leaves ideally, no more than that. I mean, I know one of these has 3, but like because you've cut its root system off, these leaves are going to dry out a lot quicker than usual. So you want to minimize how much foliage you have on the cutting. So ideally you could also take it with just one leaf, but I'm taking two just because that's worked for me in the past. And then they already have these like tiny roots coming on these nodes, so these will root really quickly. Let's just get in there. This one's got a really long stem, so I'm going to try and get this quite deep, and then push it down nice and gently. So like kind of firm, but you do want to be gentle with these. They're quite rigid anyway, so they're not going to break very easily. Okay, so it's hard to see because we have all this in the background, but we have one pot of cuttings there, and that will establish really nicely. So I'm going to do a few more. I probably won't do it on camera because otherwise I'm going to be here forever doing this. But that's kind of the look that I'm going to go for, and then obviously they're going to go into the grow tent as well. So I'll just do a few more. Right, so I managed to make 3 pots of cuttings, and in each one there's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, there's about 6 or 5 in each one, which is really good. They do look very messy at the moment, but keeping them inside that the MarsHydro grow tent, they're going to keep the humidity up, so they're going to be able to just kind of flourish quite quickly in there. The main plant does look a little bit bald right now, but it just, I mean, it didn't look good anyway, so it's fine. I don't mind that I've chopped it up. Like, I'm looking at the camera right now and this looks like such a mess, but this really is going to do really well. And now that I've cut that back, I'm tempted to cut this back even further, because then it kind of can focus on being a bit more bushy towards the top. The lighting is really blue and I'm not sure why. Yeah, so you can see the adult plant, the mother plant, a little bit better now. I'll just move those to the side. So this, like, still need to just remove a few of these dead leaves in here. And the thing is with this is that I kind of leave it a long time without watering it. So it does tend to decline a little bit. But then when I do water it, it really flourishes again. But I'm going to try to maintain a little bit more watering, a bit more frequent watering with this, and it should come back perfectly fine. Yeah, so it's just not looking amazing, but it will come back. And I'm going to put this inside the grow tent as well with these guys. I'll put those in a tray so that I can water them from underneath and keep them moist, kind of damp. Like, moist is like too wet, I think, but keeping them just damp to the touch is perfectly fine. That's exactly what they want, especially as they're cuttings. And then again, the humidity in there, going to keep that high so that they don't wilt quickly, and that should be perfectly fine. So let me just move those into there. Right, so just for now, they're going to be in there like that, and I'll need to give that a water, and I'll give that a water as well, and then they should be perfectly fine. Right, let's just top that up just to about 1 centimetre, just a little bit less, there we go. And then I'll check on those again later to see if they need a little bit more, and I do need to get a bit more water so that I can give that a little bit more. And I'll give you guys a closer look. Right, so the Philodendron micans cuttings are in there. Then we've got the 2 Begonias. Sorry if it's a little bit echoey in here, I don't know what the sound quality is going to be like. And then the Philodendron micans adult. I'm still not sure where I want to cut that a little bit further back. But yeah, they should be perfectly fine in here. This I've never had a grow tent before, so this is all new to me. So I'm gonna kind of keep a keen eye on it for the first few days, and then I will keep you guys updated with the progress. Right, so for the begonia cuttings, I'm going to be using the exact same potting mix. Like on my camera, everything looks really blue, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just my eyes. So I'm really sorry if it is looking really blue. But I'm going to try and get a bit more sphagnum moss in the top of this, just to keep that like humidity up. Oh, there's a lovely bit here. It keeps the soil nice and moist near the top and aerated at the same time, so it does exactly the same as sorry, you can't even see that. It does the same as kind of, well, similar to perlite and vermiculite, where it holds the moisture but also allows well-drained soil. So let's just get a little bit more. And I'm going to cut these a little bit finer with a pair of scissors, just give it a snip through, just so that I can get the leaves in there a lot better. So let me just change the camera angle again. Right, so just some quick snips in here. These are really, really good actually. These, I don't know what you'd call them. They're not secateurs, but they're like snips, or pruning secateurs maybe. And they're really, really good, nice and sharp still. I guess because my Felcos are like kind of blunt now because I've used them so much. I think I got those Felcos when I was 16, so they are well and truly used. Anyway, yeah, so that is that. I'm gonna actually use this to cut the leaves as well. So I will make that a little bit wetter. I don't have any water on me right now, but I'm gonna make that a lot wetter after I put the leaves in, and keep them very humid. Well, they don't need to be massively humid, but they will grow nicely in a little terrarium, or like with some plastic over it, a plastic bag, maybe that sort of thing, and that would work perfectly fine. So let's grab some large leaves. Let me move this closer. Let's go for, I mean they're all the same, why can't I pick? Let's go for this one. This one looks nice. Gonna cut that back there. I'll grab a couple quickly. This one here. Maybe I'll do 4. That one's a good one. And then this one down here. Yep, that'll do. Right. So I'll just show you a closer look to at that begonia. But like, excuse the dust. It's flowering. The flowers on this one are very pale pink, and I mean I've never grown the begonias for flowers. I know some people do really love the begonia flowers, but to me it's like they're very just minor details, but they are very pretty. But the leaves are just what I'm really into. Sorry that camera angle is absolutely terrible. Right. So to cut these, I wouldn't normally do it with secateurs, but for the sake of this, because they're very sharp. So basically what you just need something that's really, really sharp, like preferably a pruning knife or like a propagation knife. So I'm going to cut it just like that, and then you see all those veins that I've crossed, that is going to be where the little plantlets are going to grow from. So you want to get those, definitely need some solid contact with the soil. So make the gap there, lay it down, make sure it's nice and firm, and then just push back over it and just make sure it's definitely in contact. And these do take a few weeks to kind of get going. You can propagate that as well, like you can just stick it in with the stem on and it'll grow from the bottom of the stem. However, I find that when you actually use a whole leaf, you do get more plantlets come up. So let's just cut that there and there, just like that. You probably could trim the top off, but if you do create any wounds up here, they are going to dry downwards, and then it's going to be like a race for the leaf. Like as it's dying, you need it to quickly grow. So I'm not going to be cutting it at all. I'm just going to allow it to do its own thing. Like make a divot there, plant that in there. So you don't need to do it too deep, but I found that when I did them quite shallow last time, they did kind of rock or like get pushed out of place. So I'm going to plant them a little bit deeper this time. So these, I don't know if I mentioned, but they'll take about 4 weeks to kind of get growing. The camera is really blue. I think I'm going crazy, but like, does that not look blue? Yeah, they'll take about 4 weeks to get growing, and then after that, wait, let's quickly do this one next, so that I've got the same pattern. Otherwise they'll be out of pattern. That sounds, oh god, right. Sometimes I wonder if I'm actually talking crazy. There we go. And then this last one, I'll just pop that in there, and then it'll make the same pattern. Cool. I'm going to try these in the grow tent as well, because I'm just interested to see how well they do in there. Like the main priority of the grow tent, well, one of the main obviously is going to be the constant light, but it's going to be that the humidity is going to be really good in there as well. So that should be really good for these begonia cuttings. Doesn't that look really pretty? It's like a little arrangement. I really don't know why the colour is not picking up very well. Like these are so red. There you go, you can see it a little better there. So yeah, they are the begonia cuttings. They're going to be going in the grow tent with the other guys. Will I pot something over them? Maybe I'll pot a plastic bag over them, but I'll kind of see how they do for the first couple of days. I'll water these just after I come off, and then they are good to go. So again, like the other with the philodendrons and the other begonias, I will keep you guys updated on all of these. So yeah. Right, so I hope you guys enjoyed just seeing that little bit of like rescuing or maintenance on my a few of my houseplants. And I will definitely have to keep you guys updated with this, because obviously in this one video it's kind of hard to be fully into it if you're not seeing updates. So I'm going to keep you updated on how these plants do. Maybe in a 2 weeks time I'll show you what they're doing. So definitely let me know if you guys are interested in seeing how they do. And let me know if your begonias have ever done that as well, because mine have done that countless times. And like I said, it would just be so easy to throw them away, but I'm determined to rescue them. Yeah, and I'll keep you updated on the begonia cuttings as well, and all of that stuff. And I'm excited to see what I can grow in this tent as well. So if you're interested, the link to the MarsHydro grow tent and the light will be in the description to check it out. And yeah, it's going to be really cool using that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm overheating so badly in here, I'm sweating, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. So again, as always, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, there you go, thumbs up if you enjoyed, and definitely subscribe for more. So again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.